Hello YouTube, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'll be bringing you another 4 vs 4 for Rome Total War. So, as you can see, I command Germania, my ally from the last game, Macedon. He commands the Macedonians again. Down here, he was Equites Fail. He was in the last game as well, although he wasn't my ally. He's using the same army again as he had last time. He's Parthia. And down here on the extreme right of our flank is contiunued, who is the Julli Romans. So, back up to my end of the field. Our opponents are Caprio, who is Carthage, Tangent, who commands the Seleucid Empire, the Prince of Spain, who commands Carthage as well, and well, the rebel player has kind of a crude name, so I won't be saying it, other than the fact that he obviously commands the rebels. So, seeing as we're fighting Carthage and Seleucids, it means they're going to have some very powerful infantry and cavalry. And because of the nature of the fact that I am using a barbarian army, particularly Germania, they're very ill-equipped to handle pike phalanx factions, basically, particularly Carthage with its extremely powerful sacred bands. So what I tell my ally here to do is to move back a bit. Now I'm not going to hill camp, I just want to gain a slight height edge, because we'll need it, because we're going to be outdone in the infantry battle and the cavalry battle. But I also want to see if I can use my, as you can see, I have 3 hidden units of gold chosen axemen, 2 gold berserkers, and want to try and spring them out on the cavalry. I want to try and, in the game, what I was trying to do was try and get these guys to come around and I'll spring them out and knock them out, basically. Then we'd be able to easily deal with the cataphracts. But also while I was doing this, because the other Carthaginian player was also coming up, so that would obviously put us at a disadvantage with so much infantry and cavalry coming our way. But anyway, of course, like I said, those 5 units are all gold. I have also 5 gold Gothic cav and 2 chosen archers with an upgrade on each unit. Mason has 5 silver royal pikemen, 4 Grecian archers with either 1 or 2 upgrades, and 4 companions which are gold. Equites has got 6 gold cataphracts and 2 gold Persian cav, and our other ally contiunued, who is amazingly losing to the rebels. He had about 6 urban cohorts, 4 triarii, 4 archer auxiliary, and a couple of praetorian cav. No upgrades, obviously, with an army like that, with that many of those units. So obviously we're going to be pretty good in the missile duel here. That is an area where we do have some advantages, and as you can see, it's proving, and that Tangent's men are not doing that well. And ultimately, coming up here where we are, we're not really camping, because as you can see, once they get up here, which they can get up here quite easily, the ground's fairly even, and it's not really that big of a deal. It's not like we're way up on the hill up here. It's not like it's a huge hill. It's yeah. But again, we are pretty disadvantaged in that they've got 3 times as much infantry as us when you bring in this guy over here, as opposed to us, and they actually have a lot better cavalry too. Well, if you include Parthia in that, I suppose it's pretty even cavalry-wise. But they're more immediately closer. But I mean, Sacred Band Cav beats Gothic Cav, and Cataphracts beat Companion Cav, so these two actually outperform us both infantry and cavalry wise. So I figured we'd probably need the hill if we can draw them in, basically. So their armies obviously consist of pretty standard Carthaginian army here for Caprio. He's got 5 gold Sacred Bands and 4 gold Sacred Band Cav. Good army though, but pretty standard. 4 gold silver shield legionnaire pikemen here rather. He had about 5 or 6 regular archers with, I don't know if they were silver or gold, I can't really tell anymore. And of course he had 5 gold cataphracts. And of course here is Prince of Spain. He's got some peasants. I'm not really sure what they are for, perhaps to absorb arrow fire. It's all I can think of. He's got 5 gold standard Sacred Band Cav, and 5, looks to be 5, actually no, it could be 6 plain Sacred Bands as well, which look gold. So again, what I was hoping to do is see if I could present myself looking kind of weak out where I am with only a cavalry force, and hopefully I could draw at least the Caprio's cavalry round. I can destroy them decisively, and that'll allow us to destroy him quite quickly. That was the plan. But I need to sort of draw him up here, and we're going to do that easily because we've got missiles firing at them, and hopefully we can just, you know, deter them and make them decide to come up. So I'm going to bring my my two chosen archer warband down. We're just going to fire at Caprio's cav, basically just to try and bait him into moving them, and hopefully he'll decide coming around here will be the easiest way. I can come down here with these guys and they can be decisive and knock them right out of the game with my hidden infantry, which are armor piercing. Of course, berserkers are insanely powerful, which is why CWB limits them to 2. And it works out actually really well because the cataphracts come this way as well, but I wasn't certain I'd be able to beat that much cavalry on my own, so I asked for Mason's, actually it seems he has 5 companions gold because one of them must have been hidden, so I asked for him to bring his companions this way to give us an assist. So they're going to charge in, and I'm going to reveal my trap here. And this, even though the cataphracts pull back, it's good because now the Sacred Band are trapped away from their own infantry support. So I'm going to change my attention onto them, and this will force the cataphracts to come and fight and save him anyway. Also, while this is happening, we've coordinated our strike in such a way that the cataphracts from Equites Vale, Parthia, have come in to assist. So as you can see, the Carthaginian cavalry has been completely isolated and nullified, and it's going to be destroyed immediately. So Caprio loses all his cavalry almost instantly, and these cataphracts are taking a serious beating as well. Their flanks are exposed to my archers, which is good. As you can see though, these cataphracts have been stalled on my Gothic cav, and now they're being destroyed as I bring in other units. So same over here, these Carthaginians getting pulverised by my cav and berserkers together. The only problem is now is that my berserkers, because my berserkers have gone obviously berserking, I have to maintain my attack constantly. So but what works nicely is that these Sacred Band have been isolated from their groups. So I'm going to do a straight charge here. Now I know this is normally pulverised axemen, but because I had berserkers coming into the back of them and cav coming in, I'm confident I could easily do it. So I've done that, and we have just taken an extremely powerful cavalry supremacy of the field, because we have now removed all 3 players' cavalry in one decisive sweep. So it was pretty sweet. Over here, I'm going to immediately follow up with an attack. I have to keep going because my berserkers will go on their own, and if I lose them it'll be really bad. So I have to keep that up. But fortunately we just destroyed 3 units of Sacred Band hoplites, and all that cavalry basically in a little trap, so they fell right hook, line, sinker into that. Over here, the costs are quite steep for Parthia, but he destroyed a lot of other stuff too from the other Carthaginian, so he kept their cav out of the game while we destroyed this cav over here. So we've just taken cavalry supremacy of the field, and we've wiped out pretty much most of we have actually wiped out Caprio, I think. Yes, we have. We've actually wiped out Caprio's force as well. All his infantry are gone. So we just killed 5 cataphracts gold, 4 Sacred Band gold, and 5 gold Sacred Band hoplites as well. Sorry, only 3, so he's got 2 of his men left, my bad. But we have taken quite a lot of authority on the battlefield of the situation. They fell right into our trap, and as you can see, dead Sacred Band all over here. Dead Sacred Band infantry, dead cataphracts, a few dead German and Macedonian units, but not nearly as many as theirs, so that worked really well. But again, because of the nature of the berserkers, I have to maintain my attack constantly. Otherwise my momentum will get lost and I'll lose some of my best units, as I have over here. Done a lot of damage to them for sure, but I'll lose my berserkers there. Here is where I really wished Equites Vale with his Parthian cataphracts had come into offer support, because my axemen are just no match for Sacred Band. They just can't get into a phalanx unit unless they get behind them or on the flanks. They temporarily had the flanks, but as you can see, it's just not really going anywhere. And if he'd come in round here like this, bang. So I brought some of my cav over here because I was, just in case Macedon needed the help, because he is up against quite powerful sacred bands, but he had supremacy of his cavalry over here, and that's making a massive difference in this fight. But as you can see, because the Parthian didn't help me over here, most of my infantry are going to rout, which is really annoying. If he had helped me, but I suppose I can understand his sort of unhappiness to it. I can understand it, but it was kind of frustrating at the time, a wee bit, because I think we probably could have won it. So anyway, I was just roaming around these two, looking for any reason to commit hammer and anvils. I don't seem to be needing to. But over here I bring in my chosen archer warband, which are into his sacred bands, which are now very tired and depleted. So I did get some flank shots on them, so it did work quite nicely. So as you can see, the battle has turned out pretty good for us. They've sort of walked into what we wanted them to do, and it's worked out very well. Again, there's some peasants here. That's just a piece of cake killing for my men. Even archers can handle them, no bother. Over here, Equitate's Vale does decide to charge these sacred band, but they're going to get into formation as cataphracts are not succeeding there. I did prepare to bring in some of my cavalry over here, my general's unit. I'm going to charge. You can see my general there with his maroon cape, but he's going to pull out of that, and I'm not going to bother after that. I've still got some of my X-Men, which have looked to have picked up an experience point in that, which is pretty cool. But ultimately, they did what we wanted them to. We were just happy to sit there with our archers and try and force them to make a mistake, and we did, and they just fell right into it, and they lost all their cavalry in doing so. So it really turned it into our favour, because yes, they had infantry supremacy, but once we gained cavalry supremacy of the field, we had enough infantry to stall them and use our own cav to just take them out at our own leisure, basically. While this has been happening, the other battle between the rebel and the Julli ally of ours is gone, but the rebel actually won that fight. So it's quite amazing. So these sacred band of the Prince of Spain do cause some significant difficulties over here. So we're going to kind of hammer it, but he's going to have time to turn around, and that's not good. The fight's fairly even now, though. I'm going to bring in my archers from the flank here, and we're going to try and surround. If Macedon had rushed his pikemen in here, we could have taken less casualties, but we probably stayed in this little bit of a battle too long. I am trying to withdraw. As you can see, my guys are trying to pull out. It doesn't really matter, it's not that big a deal, because we still have plenty of men left, but I pulled my cav out just in time. But my general unit does actually decide to rout, which is a bit of a pain, but it doesn't matter. We've caused enough of a stall that now that the Macedonian royal pikemen are in, they will indeed crunch their way into these sacred bands, which would normally beat them, but they're depleted and tired and out positioned, so they'll get destroyed. I'm going to come from the back with my axemen and my archers. Also the Cretans were having a hand in there as well, and then my cav are roaming from here and back here. So that works out quite nicely though, and we're going to have a good little force left over. Macedon's still got several of his pikemen which are available. There's enough cataphracts there, and me and Parthia are pretty depleted. Getting rid of all those pikes with a cav heavy force, which is what we both have, is not actually that easy to do, particularly Sacred Band. But because we managed to destroy these cavalry over here so quickly and decisively, it worked well. But like I said, because I had berserkers, of course they're berserking. A lot of people I find the mistake with berserkers is they use them well, or they spring them out of a trap or whatever, and they do something quite decisive. But what they do is they leave them alone, and eventually you can subdue berserkers just by weight of numbers. But what you should do is, when berserkers are going, you maintain the attack and bring your other units in and attack with them. And that furious strike of berserkers can really be quite devastating. And with the extra support behind them, they can just cause a mass rout, which is in a lot of ways what was happening over here with half of Caprio's Sacred Band infantry, as well as his cavalry and the cataphracts. So we were really pretty decisive then, and that's what I found. I'll admit I've made the mistake of letting berserkers go, and people just can eventually subdue them by weight of numbers, and I've done it to other people who have done the same thing to me. But if you get your own units behind them, and use hammer and anvils and strikes and just cause a chaotic mess with the chaotic power of the berserker style, you can be really decisive and cause mass routs, which is what Germania is good at, in my opinion, that and scaring the opponent. So, and I think, you know, I managed to implement that pretty good this game, but I had good support from Parthia and Macedon, you see. And again, I think these guys work together well. They were working together. They just fell hook, line, and sinker into this trap of the cav. And once that happened, we just had a very powerful position on the field, even though they had much more infantry and better infantry than us. And they had about the same power in terms of cavalry as well. So we did have the missile supremacy though, and that was useful to draw them into our trap, you see. So we did have a slight height terrain advantage, nothing drastic, considering once they got out here it was fairly even. But anyway, I'm going to triple speed it, guys, because it's just the rebel guy moving up and us moving down to meet him. And we're just talking about things, telling Macedon to save his archers here, because we need a few of them. So as you can see, I mean, I've only got a couple of archers, and I think I have a couple of cav units. Here's a cav unit down here, cav unit here, a tiny amount of axemen. Parthia's only got a few of his cataphracts left, but Macedon's got most of his Macedon's got most of their pikemen and a few archers left as well. So it's fine. We have the numbers because the rebel player is pretty depleted as well. But very impressive on his part to deal with the Roman army, even if it had no upgrades with the rebels. That's pretty impressive stuff. But I suspect the rebel player was, you know, pretty new, inexperienced. So, not the rebel player, sorry, the Roman Julli players, our ally on the far right was pretty, Concept Bro was his name, pretty new and inexperienced. So I'm just triple speeding here, guys. As you can see, his army here, it's just a few bowmen and some Judean zealots. I think there's some gladiators back there as well. So we're coming down the hill, just to, you know, take the forest here. He wants to probably bait us down. It's not really going to work though, because we're not going to take it. I'm just going to stop it to back to normal speed, guys. But as you can see, a few archers. It's got a few rebel generals, barbarian noble cav, Judean zealots, and I think he's got some gladiators. Here we go, a couple of Samnite gladiators out there. So he's got forces enough to be a nuisance, but with these pikes will make a big deal. Big turns it in our favour quite a ways. But he keeps sending messages, "Come at me, bro," during the fight, and I think to myself, well, you do realise there's 3 different people here, and you just going, "Come at me, bro," and, you know, I thought, okay, you know, he keeps sending that message to us, and I thought, well, you know, there's 3 of us, and, you know, if one person comes at you by themselves, will get beaten. So he's going to bring his Judean zealots, and as you can see, they're packing a crap load of upgrades because they're cheap, but they're quite useful as spearmen. And I'm just going to charge my archers into them. Catch them here. Archers fight good in the woods. Try and get them busy fighting my archers, which are actually doing quite well. They're doing a good job. His cavalry won't do so good in the woods. Archers always do good in the woods. Here, these Judean zealots, all their upgrades, no match for cataphracts. I'm going to bring my guys in just to be on the safe side and win that battle. So we also bashed down some more. These ones over here are actually starting to win, so I won't be staying in that fight. I'm going to bring my archers in though with their little wee bread and butter knives, and I'm going to complete a hammer and anvil strike on these zealots here. If we can kill this general in here, there he is there, he looks a bit, there's the rebel general, and there's the Parthian one back there, and my one I think did a runner and left the field earlier. So we managed to beat down probably one of the best parts of the rebel force, but it has cost Equites fail pretty much all his cataphracts. He's only got like 3 left with his general who's rallying his men here. But it has killed all their spearmen, which is useful. But again, Macedon needs to play an important part here. He is the Macedonian player. He needs to play the important part, be the kind of the destructive player. He's the most men left. You can't really expect me and Parthia to do too much because we don't have a lot left. That little bit of a scrap with those Judean zealots did take quite a bit out, but it did kill a lot of the rebel force as well. Although these gladiators could be dangerous, and I told him that we will need his pikemen to beat them because we can't touch them. We just don't have enough left. As you can see, I've got like 1 archer, 2 little axemen, 4 archers in that unit, and a couple of cav units with about 4 men in each unit, so there's not much there. But again, Macedon just didn't seem, I don't think he was heaps experienced, because he didn't know about running his troops out of formation. I had to alert him to it. So he's going to catch some here. Well, he's got some of his companion cavalry still alive, and they're still roaming. Here's his general there. The Macedonian general certainly looks awesome with this mod. Of course, you can mod it to have the Alexander thing, for, general from the Alexander expansion, but I personally don't actually like that particular one as much as that's just my personal decision there. I prefer the look of the standard regular Macedonian general with the cape and the big plume. I like it much better. So here he charges his general into my, I think it's his general, no it's not, yes it is, his general and another unit into my cav. And that'll pretty much be the end of me, but I charge my my archers in, and he brings his gladiators in, and the cataphracts are having a crack as well, and the Samnites are now pinned, and as much of his archers on these royal pikemen, so that pretty much ensures that. And that's basically it, guys, really. It's just us kind of trying to catch some of his archers. I don't really have any cavalry left though. Here he charges his real general into my chosen archers, and here's his general here fighting like a crazed madman, but he starts to retreat, so it's the end of him. So I'm just going to triple speed again, guys. It's just us trying to run stuff down, and that's boring. Again, to skip, is it? Well, there's only a few bits, like just a wee bit left until it's over anyway. So just about to end, guys, just catching up, and it's only an average victory for us. Again, the difference from the last 4 verse 4 was the team that we're fighting actually came at us with a strategy in mind. The other one did not. So this one's, instead of the heroic victory we got last time, this one's just the average victory, but nonetheless still a good victory. I had 365 men, that's 618 kills, for the second most kills on my team. I had 98 men remaining, and Macedon will get the most kills with 758. He had 601, 282 surviving. Equites gets 302, he had 217, and he had 40 men remaining. And Concept Bro actually didn't do that bad, 434 kills, but he probably should have been able to beat the Rebel. The Rebel got 832 kills, so he did very well. As you can see, a pretty disgusting name, really. And I mean, the other guys, Prince of Spain, Tangent, Caprio. Prince of Spain didn't do too shabby, but Tangent and Caprio didn't really do all that great. So here's the statistics. The Gothic Cav, pretty good stats really for all of them. Most of them. This one got 81, 51. The others got 30, 35 up against Cataphracts and Sacred Band Cav. That's good because they are both much better cavalry units. The Berserkers, they got 56 and 48 respectively for their destroyed, but very good for them. Well, they're always good if you used right. My chosen axemen, one of them got 89, this one got 17, not too flash. This one 24, it's not too bad, and the chosen archer warband did very well, getting the most kills, 86 and 78, except for perhaps that unit of chosen axemen that got 89, but very good work from all my army. I think the trap with that, getting those cavalry, we managed to wipe out Tangent and Caprio's cav, which shows in their stats they got quite badly beaten because we got rid of their cav. So that came together nicely and it worked really well. And it particularly played into what I had in mind, particularly with my barbarian-based faction, which it would have a lot of trouble in a frontal, or could not beat Sacred Bands in a frontal fight. So it's where you got to be kind of clever about what you're doing, I guess, when you're using barbarian factions against Hellenized pike factions. So anyway, good game to all those 7 other players. Certainly enjoyed it, loved my 4 verse 4s, and I'm sure, well I hope a lot of you guys enjoy them because they are quite hard games to do, to get people to join for and whatnot, but nonetheless they're a lot of fun. So again guys, please leave comments and your opinions and thoughts. Constructive criticism's fine. If you want to add some, go for it, and I'll read it, and I'll take what I can from it, and all for any of the other guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed again, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.